All right, so moving on to the next segment. I'll be sharing my biggest surprises of the NFL season. So the NFL season is unfortunately coming to an end. And that's heartbreaking for me because I really enjoyed this NFL season. And I'm going to miss football when it's gone. But these are my biggest surprises of the NFL season. So, first big surprise, the emergence of Baker Mayfield for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and actually being an upgrade from Tom Brady. So, it's actually mind-boggling, the sentence that I just said, but the Tampa Bay Buccaneers actually upgraded at the quarterback position this past NFL offseason when they acquired Baker Mayfield, and it was actually an upgrade from Tom Brady when Tom Brady was last a part of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last season. Now, I have no disrespect to the GOAT. Tom Brady is the greatest football player to ever put on a pair of football pads in NFL history. But Baker Mayfield was an upgrade at the quarterback position this offseason after Tom Brady retired. You look at what Tom Brady did with this Bucs team last year. Tom Brady went 8-9 with this Bucs team, barely won the NFC South, and got crushed wild card weekend against the Dallas Cowboys last year. You look at what the Tampa Bay Buccaneers did this year. They went 9-8 with Baker Mayfield. They won the NFC South, and they crushed the Philadelphia Eagles, the former NFC champions, and the wild card round, and went on to the second round and at least went to the divisional round. That's what Baker Mayfield did for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with the same exact roster that Tom Brady had last year. Offensively, the Bucs were a more productive offense with Baker Mayfield in the lineup instead of the GOAT Tom Brady. With Baker Mayfield's offensive production, he had a total of 4,044 passing yards, 28 passing touchdowns, and 10 interceptions this season. Much better production offensively at the quarterback position than what Tom Brady gave the Bucs last year. We're nearly the same exact roster with the same offensive weapons. That's a big surprise, and that's actually mind-boggling to me that I just said that sentence on this podcast. But definitely one of the biggest surprises of the NFL season. Surprise number 2 is the Los Angeles Rams. Now, I had no idea that this Rams team was going to be as good as it was, and I didn't know that this Rams team was going to overcome my expectations of what I had for them this season, because the Rams, after being a Super Bowl champion, they took a hit over the last few years, and especially during the NFL offseason last year. They lost Bobby Wagner at the linebacker position. They traded away their star-studded cornerback of Jalen Ramsey to the Miami Dolphins. They didn't even get a first or second round pick for him, a third-round pick and some change. When you lose these two players on a defense that already wasn't good over the last year in the NFL, you would think that the Rams would take a step backwards. And for a team that won the Super Bowl in the 2021 NFL season, they went 5-11 as the reigning defending Super Bowl champions last year. And I predicted this team would miss the playoffs and actually be one of the worst teams in the National Football League. And man, was I wrong. They turned things around after a rough 3-5 start. They actually finished the season winning 7 out of their 9 last ball games to finish the season at 10-7. And came up short against the Detroit Lions, only losing that game by 1 point in the wild card round. But looking at this team next year, if Matthew Stafford's healthy, Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua continue to play at elite level at the wide receiver position, if Kyron Williams continues to deliver in the backfield for the running game for the Rams, if Sean McVay, boy genius, continues to do what he does, being one of the best coaches in the National Football League, and they upgrade their defense during the NFL offseason, get Aaron Donald and company some help, I think this team can compete in the NFC for a long time. As long as these guys stay available in LA, I don't see this team going anywhere. I think they're going to be a much better football team if they address their defense next year. But, man, the Rams definitely were a surprise to me this year. Number 3 surprise on my list is C.J. Stroud's amazing rookie season. Now, obviously, me and my co-host Rob Cerasulo always believed in quarterback C.J. Stroud. And we all knew that C.J. Stroud would be a franchise quarterback from the production level that he produced at Ohio State, breaking the curse of quarterbacks from Ohio State that cannot produce in the National Football League. C.J. Stroud is proving, no matter if you're a Buckeye or not, you can produce at the National Football League at the quarterback position. But C.J. Stroud in his rookie year went 10-7, winning the AFC South Division, with the second worst team in the National Football League just a year ago. He did that in his rookie season. He put the Houston Texans at a high pedestal as going to be one of the best teams in the AFC for years to come now, from his production at the quarterback position in his rookie season. He's already established himself as a top 10 quarterback in the league. The Texans are the new bullies in the AFC South. I don't see the Jaguars competing with them. The Colts might give them a run for their money, but they're not taking that division away from them. Titans look like they're rebuilding. They're not going to do anything. And they have tremendously exceeded my expectations this year. This rookie season, CJ Stroud helped the Texans win a playoff game. And he was really in the MVP race. I mean, I'm not saying he was in the top 3 conversation for winning the MVP award, but his stats before that concussion, he was up there with the big boys in the MVP race in his rookie season. So, hats off to CJ Stroud. He definitely exceeded my expectations this year, and definitely is a surprise to me what he did in his rookie season. Surprise number 4 is Jordan Love's surprising season. Now, here we go again. Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers are all-time greats at the quarterback position. In my opinion, they're both top 5 all time. But here we go again. Same scenario I just said with Baker Mayfield. Aaron Rodgers was just on this Packers team a year ago. This same Packers roster last season with Aaron Rodgers missed the playoffs. Fast forward a year later, Jordan Love, which was the franchise's backup, learning from Aaron Rodgers, had an impressive first year as the Packers starting quarterback. Now it looks like they have found their franchise quarterback to take them into the forsake of the future. Now, I truly had my doubts, and I've said this on record on the podcast, that I didn't think Jordan Love was that guy. You look at the film that he had in the beginning of the season, he was only hitting on checkdowns, slants, intermediate routes. If a wide receiver ran anything, a 10, 15-yard plus route, he never connected on it. Ended up being interceptions, overthrowing his target. And you can see in the play calling that Matt LaFleur truly did not trust him in the beginning of the season. The film shows it. But I might have judged him way too early, because Jordan Love finished the season with 4,159 passing yards, 32 passing touchdowns, 11 interceptions, helped the Packers win a playoff game, and defeated my Dallas Cowboys. Jordan Love could be the next best thing in Green Bay. They might have found their guy. And this is my final surprise, but my final surprise is DaRon Bland's historic season at the cornerback position. So, looking back at this is mind-boggling, because early in the season, the Dallas Cowboys defense went into panic mode when Trayvon Diggs tore his ACL. DaRon Bland, former 5th-round pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, stepped up to the plate, replacing Trayvon Diggs, one of the best cornerbacks in the National Football League. Top 10 now, relax. Top 10 at least. But Trayvon Diggs is still one of the best in the league at the cornerback position. But DaRon Bland finished this season with 9 interceptions, 5 pick sixes, setting the pick six record in NFL regular season history, made the All-Pro list, and made the Pro Bowl roster this year. And his first year really being the number 2 cornerback for the Dallas Cowboys after Trayvon Diggs tore his ACL. Even though the Cowboys season finished in disappointing fashion, the defense really never missed a beat, especially in the secondary when you lose a caliber player like Trayvon Diggs, and a 5th-round pick, DaRon Bland, steps up to the plate and plays spectacular. Now, we're heading into the offseason where things can get very interesting for the Dallas Cowboys defense, because if they decide to keep Stephon Gilmore and bring him back in on a cheap veteran deal, you now have Trayvon Diggs, Stephon Gilmore, and DaRon Bland playing all in the secondary at the cornerback position for the Dallas Cowboys. You could potentially have Trayvon Diggs and DaRon Bland playing on the outside, Stephon Gilmore playing in the slot. Or you could potentially have Trayvon Diggs and Stephon Gilmore playing on the outside, moving DaRon Bland to the slot. Things can get interesting this offseason for the Dallas Cowboys defensively if they keep Stephon Gilmore. But those are my biggest surprises of this NFL season.